Alright, it's almost 12 a.m. It's late as hell, and today we're gonna be doing like a chill little unboxing video. It's not gonna be crazy editing or anything for this video. We're just gonna be taking a look at the Amaran 60X light that we got right here. I got it today. I didn't have much time to unbox it or anything, so I just wanna do that right now. And the reason why I got this light right here is because my Amaran MC light broke. Now let me just grab that one right there, which is right over here. And when I turn it on, as you can see, it actually works fine. But the problem with it is that it just doesn't connect through Bluetooth anymore. Like if I try to connect to my phone, it just doesn't show up. And if I go to the Bluetooth setting and I click Bluetooth reset, it loads up and then it says reset failed. Wait, did it say it? It says reset failed, and then it just repeats and it just doesn't work. So because of that, I had to set up the sport, and then they're gonna send me a new one, blah blah blah. But I just wanted to get a different light that I can use, and for that reason I got this one instead. Now the reason for that is because even though this is an RGB light, the thing that I realized is that with this light, I pretty much only use this light in either daylight, or sometimes depending on the scene, I'll make it a little bit warmer or lighter. So I kind of use it like a bicolor light. So I'm like, I might as well just get a bicolor light. So that's what I end up doing. So that's what we're going to be unboxing this right here. So hopefully I can just rip open this thing without completely destroying the packaging, just in case if I have to return it, but whatever. It's not too expensive. And that's one thing I love about these lights, is that, you know, they made it from aperture lights, which are, you know, very cool lights that, you know, I use on film sets all the time. You know, pretty much any, like, if you do any, like I say, like low budget to mid budget shoots, you'll see a lot of aperture lights in them because they give you such high quality light out of them, but they're also pretty affordable. If you go to like higher budget shoots, you'll usually see like airy lights. But for a lot of like indie space, aperture lights are great. And the Amaran lights are the same exact lights that they use on apertures, except that it's just made in like a cheaper casing for it, which means people who want to, you know, buy it for their own and they're not going to use it on big productions, they can use it just as myself, you know. If I'm going to be shooting on a big production, I'll probably get an aperture light. But for the stuff I do, I don't really need an expensive, you know, aperture, you know, 600 or some shit, you know. These lights do fine. So right here, we got the light right here, which is the Amaran 60X right here. I was thinking of getting the daylight version, and the daylight version is stronger, but again, for daylight lights, you want to get them as your key light. So like the light I'm using right here, which is an Amaran 200D. So for your key lights, you always want to get a daylight light, because first of all, daylight's going to be the color, I mean the white balance you're going to be using on your camera, and also going to give you a stronger light source. Now with the secondary lights, I usually like to just keep them as like either like a rim light or a fill light, and for that, those lights don't have to be that strong. So for those reasons, those lights I'll usually get either bicolor or get it RGB. So that's the reason why we get a bicolor light, because I'm gonna be using this as a fill light or a rim light, like how I mentioned it before. But we are also gonna try to use it as the key light, see how it works, because right now I'm using only 15% on this light. So if this light is like, you know, if I can use it at like 50% or even at 100% for something like this, I might use it on here. So anyways, we got the light here. And even though this light is Bowen's mouth, which is pretty crazy considering how small it is, it does come with this reflector dish right here, which is a lot smaller than you would get on a regular dish. So actually, let me bring out a regular dish right here. As you can see, we got a reflector dish with a barn door and a grid in here, and as you can see, it's a lot bigger than this small little dish that we got here. So I'm gonna try to use both of them on here and see how it works. So let's see, what else do we get with this? Okay, I almost spilled my coffee. It's 12 a.m. I'm drinking coffee. That's great. So we got some instructions. Don't need them. Just some. What is this actually? I don't know what this is. comes with like some cloth. What is this? So it comes with, oh, okay, it comes with like a, I'm guessing this is, I don't know what the name is. I think it's called just a sock. You can put it over this to soften the light, right? Yeah, so you can put this over it and you can actually soften the light. It's kind of pointless because if I'm going to use a reflector dish, I'm usually trying to get a hard light going. It's going to be really hard to get a soft light using a reflector unless if you're bouncing the light, so... But it's still cool that they give you this. I'm probably going to just keep this in the box because I don't think I'll ever use it. But here's the fun stuff with this camera. So this camera, wow, they give you a really long cable, but this is the cable to plug it into the wall. And I feel like this is almost bigger than the Amaran 200 one is, but here it is. So this has whatever this power cable is right here. Well, they give you a really long cable because this is super long. Look at this. Look at the thickness on this. Holy shit. And then you have this part also. So these two connect and then this is a really long light. Holy shit. But you don't have to worry about putting it anywhere, I guess. You can kind of attach it anywhere. And it comes with this, I don't even know what you would call this. I guess just like a light stand thing to mount your light. So that's cool. And this feels really heavy duty, so I like that a lot. And then here's the star of the show, which is the NPF adapter. So you can use this light with just batteries, which is another important reason I got it, because I don't have any really strong lights that I can use with batteries, so we'll see. But it also comes with this nice little bag, which I like, but I don't think I'll ever use it just because it takes up a lot of space, and this is such a small little setup that I'll probably be throwing this in my bag. So let's try to turn this on. So let me just grab some NPF batteries and I'll be right back. Okay, that legit took me like an hour to find this battery. And hopefully this battery actually has some juice in it. But we got two large NPF batteries. These are 8,800 amps. So let's put two of these in. I don't even know if these have any juice in them. So we'll see if these actually work, but let's put both of these in here. And let's see what happens. And then we'll plug this into our light right here. And voila, we have light. This thing is bright. And then we gotta figure out how to, well, right there we got our light working. I believe if you click and hold, they can change the temperature. We can go to a nice warm color. Wow, this goes pretty warm. To a cooler color, right? To 6,500. Right there, we got our nice cool white, which is perfect for oh, you can cycle through them. That's cool. It's perfect to use as a rim light. And then we can put our tiny little reflector dish right here. See how this works. I wish there were some accessories for this, because I do like it a lot. And boom, right there. Wow, that is really nice. So now let's try to connect this to our phone and see how it works. And one thing I really recommend doing with these lights is that some of these lights just have problems when you first get them. So it's good to just, you know, go click on your light on here. Click on like the three dots on there. Oh fuck. My cat's stuck in the door. Click on the three dots and then click on firmware updates. Do the firmware update because a lot of these firmware updates will fix any of the issues they'll have. Like some of these lights have issues where the Bluetooth stops working on them. And once it does stop working, then you can't update them anymore. And then you have to send it back to the factory in order to be able to fix them. So because of that reason, when you get these lights, always update them to the latest firmware, like how I'm doing it right now. Okay, now it works. So I had to delete it and add it back in for some reason. It was having problems, but now I can control everything about the light from the app. So I can go from, you know, this is 0% right now. And I can just add, you know, let's go to 1%. And this is 1%. And we can go up to 10%, go to 25, 30. Damn, this thing gets bright, and this is at 100% right now. Oh my god. And you can change the color temperature, so you can make it warm, you can make it daylight, or you can go super, bluish color. It's really cool. Wow, what you can do with this light. So I'm going to show you guys how I'm going to be using this. I pretty much bought this light just to use it as a rim light, because I like to use, to create depth. What I like to do is I like to have one soft light on one side, and then on the back I like to have a harsh light going. So because of that reason, I chose a light like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to attach this light stand thing right here. I'm going to attach this to the bottom of the light right here. Something like this. Obviously this is too powerful right there, but let's come a little bit closer right over here. And as you can see, this is a really cool lighting right here. And obviously it's too strong, so even at 10% it's a little too strong, so probably like 3%. So something like this, it's like a talking head video. Actually, I'm going to swap lenses real quick. Let's do that real quick, and so we can see what it will look like in a documentary type of setting. So right now we're on the 50mm, and as you can see, we got such a cinematic looking scene like this. Now right now we're shooting, this is on 1% power right now. Like, that's how strong this thing is with the reflector. And when you're using it as a rim light, especially on a scene like this, then you don't need a lot of power. For those reasons, I always get, for my secondary lights, I get them either bicolor or get them RGB, because I'm not going to need that much power. The reason why I get the main lights, daylight, which is also 5600, is because for that stuff you're usually putting on a big softbox, and for that stuff you need a strong light. So for those reasons, main light, always get it daylight, but the other, your second or third light or whatever, you can get them bicolor or RGB. But again, this is on, no, this one right here is on 1%. If we go all the way to 100%, it just blinds the whole image. It's actually hurting my eye even though it's behind me, so let's go back to 1%. But this is a nice scene, and you can change the color temperature. Like I said, 6500 right now, so it's giving us like a little coolish color to it, which I do like a lot. But depending on the kind of mood you want to go for, you can either stick to 5600, like how I just changed it right now, so it just matches your scene, or you can make it a little bit warmer. You can go all the way down to 2700K. And you can give it like a little warmer tone depending on what kind of mood you want to set with your image. So it's really cool what you can do with this thing, and this thing also has, special effects that you can use with it. Here, let's see what special effects it does have. Let's see, where's the effects thing? And I'm showing all this thing on my phone, of course. Pick your effects. How do you do? System. Okay, so you can do paparazzi. Whoa, the paparazzi is behind me. I don't know. These are kind of gimmicky. You can do a fire. So that's pretty cool. You can do like a little fire effect. You can do an explosion. I don't know if I would ever use these. I feel like I would just use mostly just like special effects or something. So you can do a strobe, so you can give seizures to your viewers. That's great. You can do pulsing. You can do TV. Does that look like a TV? I don't know. You can do a lightning. Is it coming? I'm scared to look. Oh, there's the lightning. You can do a faulty bulb. But I don't know. There's a bunch of different stuff you can do with it. It's fine. I would probably just use this just on the normal settings right there. But this is just using the reflector dish that it just comes with. So now let's try to put in like a different reflector dish. I want to see how that works with this thing. So I'll just lower this down right here. So let's try to put a big reflector dish on here and see how something like that works. So what if we take this off? And this thing is just tilting to the side. Okay. Let's put a big reflector dish just like this. So How do you do this? So you put it on like that, and boom. Now you got a big reflector dish on here, and you got barn doors on there, so you can control all the spill of the light, which is super cool. And it has a grid on there, so again, the light's not gonna spill that much, which I love. And this way, yeah, you can make sure the light doesn't spill anywhere outside of where it's supposed to. Let me just move this back a little bit. Why is it so down? I'm gonna fix this shit. Make that shit square. Right there. So you can have a scene like this. And this looks super nice. I love it. Right there. And you can change the warmness of it. What the hell? Change the warmness. Let's make it nice and warm. This gives you a lot of options that you can use this if you want. I actually like this a lot. It actually works really well. So I might be just using this mainly. I mean, this barn door is also cool. You know, this doesn't come with it, obviously. This is something I just put on there, but you have so many options. It's bone mounts, and that's the cool thing about bone mounts, that there's so many different ways of using it. Okay, the last thing we're gonna try to do is we're gonna replace this Amaran 200D with this light. So with the Amaran 200D, we are using, let's see, 18% to get this scene right there. So let's try to replace these lights and see how much power we have to use in order to get a scene like this. All right, so we did get it on here, but as you can see, it does bend a lot, which does worry me. So I don't know. It's a little risky, but besides that, it seems to be working. Let's just see how the scene looks with this light on here. And obviously we're gonna have to change the settings a little bit. This light is nowhere as strong as the 200D, but let me just get back onto the scene right here. So right here, as you can see, we're shooting in a warmer temperature, but our time has been actually changing a lot. When I first started on, it said it was 7 hours, and now it's at 2 hours. So obviously the readings are not that accurate on there, but what are you gonna do? So right now we're at 20%. To get a similar, actually it's not even that much. I would have to go to like 30%. Right here, let's go to daylight, and right there we have the similar, almost the same exact light as what we had with the Amaran 200D. So that's pretty cool, you know. With the Amaran, we had to use 18%, and here we have to use 33%. So this light pretty much has half the output of what you get out of the Amaran 200D. So, I mean, that's pretty cool. I mean, if you go all the way to 100%, you can get pretty bright with this light. But there's been times with even with the Amaran 200D, I had to go to 100%. You know, if I'm lighting up a big scene, or if the light's really far away and I'm using a softbox. So because of those reasons, I wouldn't get this light as your key light, but it's a great, you know, secondary or third light. I mean, for doing YouTube stuff like this, it works fine, especially if you're shooting with fast lenses. But if you're shooting like an f4 lens or something, then this lens light probably would not be enough. Like, let's switch to f4 actually. So I was at f1.8, right now we're at f4. So to get a proper exposure, yeah, right now I'm at 100%, and that still isn't enough. So yeah, because of those reasons, I wouldn't really recommend this light as your main light. Yeah, if you're shooting in with a fast aperture, then you can get away with it. But anyways, that's gonna be it. So yeah, but it's a very versatile light, so I do like that a lot about it. And you can change the colors, you can have fun with it, so that's really cool. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. This is gonna be my quick look at the Amaran 60X. You know, from the first impressions, it works really great. I love the fact that it works well with the Sidus link app. I think, yeah, that's the main selling point of it, and that's the main reason why I'm getting rid of this light, is because the app stopped working with this. Now I've been looking online to find a fix for this, and I can't find anything, so I'm guessing I'm the only person that has problems with this light not syncing properly. So whatever, the company, I did reach out to it, and the support team is sending me a new one, so it's not that big of a deal. But, just to let you guys know that it is a problem that I did have. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching this video. Hopefully it was useful, and I'll see you guys in next week's video. Goodbye.